Yeah, I was totally recording that whole bit.
Okay.
You're in frame now, so.
Good.
Okay, so to start, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Apparently, I'm spending my evenings doing this bullshit.
How does it feel?
It feels rewarding. I don't know what the rewards are yet, but it does feel rewarding. I just spent an entire evening after work recording drums, and I hope the record sounds good. I don't know if it will, but I hope it does.
I'll do my best to screw it up for you. I'm going to reframe it just a little bit. I'll do this. There you go. So what did you do today and the last couple of days?
Last couple of days?
Just in the studio.
Well, today in the studio, I mean, I finished the last two songs, Hammer and Tongs and Restless Spirits, and those are the two newest songs we have, so they were arguably some of the toughest to record because they had the most unfamiliar parts. But yeah, so we just finished those today. Beyond that, I've been watching Deadwood in my spare time. That's like all I do right now.
Shit.
Trying to finish it out.
What does this record mean to you?
Oh shit, what does this record mean to me? This is the first full length for not only Stagecoach Inferno, but the first full length that I have ever recorded. So it means a hell of a lot. To actually have songs that are, 6, 7 years old, finished and recorded. You know, some songs that we've recorded before and that we've changed 1,000 times since then, you know, added parts, taken away stuff, and actually have it to where we finally have these songs, these old songs where we want them after years of messing around with them. And then some new songs that we actually got to record amongst the four of us, like write amongst the four of us and then record it after that. It's pretty amazing, you know. I mean, this album in particular is kind of a milestone just because it takes so much old and new from everything we've been doing over the past year, 6 years or so, and putting it all together. And I hope the other thing the album means for me is that it's a launch point for us to just keep on doing what we're doing. And, you know, now that we've finally got our shit together and recorded this album, you know, now we can go ahead and do another one next year and another one the year after that. Why not? At this point, we finally have a group of people that can do it. And we've had great people come and go. Great people come and go out of Stagecoach Inferno. And we finally have the configuration I think that's going to stay and that we can keep writing like this with. So that's what it means.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
All right, what's the story with Stagecoach Inferno?
The
band?
story with the band or the actual story of the...
What's the story with the band?
Okay, I'm going to try and keep it brief because I could talk about this for a long time. The band started because we needed a way to capture the mythology of America. Now, you have bands like Blind Guardian and who knows what else, like all kinds of power metal and thrash metal bands that are European and they sing about dragons and wizards and shit, and they should because it's awesome, but because that's part of the mythology of Europe and it makes sense. And not to bash other bands that are American that take that mythology and have fun with it, but we wanted to do something that was distinctly American.
Whatever, man. Fuck
So,
you. We need your
Give me
keys.
this.
For Bessie.
Oh, Bessie. It's,
ahead.
it's action. It's action right there. Woo! Woo!
So that's the story of the band. We, yeah, right. You and I, did this, and Logan and Mara. We did this because we wanted something different, and we wanted to capture something that felt more authentic to us and more authentic to where we live and where we've grown up. Kentucky fucking doesn't matter. I mean, Kentucky was a Wild West frontier at one point. You got to face that. It went through Kentucky first. Well, not first, but before it actually got to St. Louis and then farther out, St.
Daniel
Louis
Boone,
being
man.
yeah, exactly, Daniel Boone. So St. Louis being the gateway to the West, obviously, like, it happened in Kentucky first, and we were a frontier, and then it kept going. So basically anything Westy, anything Wild Westy has a frontier. That's why you see space westerns and all kinds of different Western genres that don't necessarily make sense. It's because there's a frontier. There has to be a frontier of unexplored territory for it to be a Western. And that's the theme. So, yeah, I don't think it matters that we're from Kentucky, actually. I think it's actually kind of interesting. But that's why Stagecoach Inferno is a Wild West band, is because that's part of our mythology in America.
Freedom.
It ain't free.
Why is it taking so long, I guess? And like, I know the reason, but is it worth the wait? Is it worth the wait?
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
I mean, is it worthwhile? Are the changes and whatnot?
Well, yeah, it is, because I mean, what we could have done and what would have been arguably smarter to do was take all these old songs and throw them out, But when we did that with a couple, I still want to come back to those and redo them. But yeah, I mean, I think it is worth the wait because we put so much effort into making the old songs as much as they could be. Why did it take so long? Man, all kinds of reasons. Particularly because, we have had a bunch of really awesome, fantastic, and talented people come through Stagecoach Inferno. And, they stayed for varying lengths, and then they had to move on to other things. And this is a thing that happens to a lot of bands. But most importantly, I feel like we still have a positive relationship with everybody that's been in Stagecoach Inferno. They're all great people, and they're all very talented people. And because of that, there are very cutthroat bands that would be like, oh, you have a different level of commitment than me, and you have to leave right now, and wouldn't have ever tried to make anything work. And we always did try to make things work because everybody that was in Stagecoach was a friend. And because of that, we had very long cycles where people would be in the band and then they had to move, or they had to do something else. They had something else with their life that took them away from the band. And that's great. We're all happy for them. But because of that, you get somebody else in, you have to teach them all the parts, and then they'll change some parts, and then you'll want to change some parts. So yeah, it takes a long time. That's why, like I said before, now that I believe we have 4 people that are all hammering away at the same speed, even though this album took since 2008, we can do another album much faster.
Kind of a launching point kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. I guess beyond that, is there anything else you just want to say about the record, the story behind the record? I know you're doing, your novella, telling the story that you and I created.
Yeah.
Anything like that?
Well, it's it is so much fun to be able to take what most people would just think local band, unsigned band, whatever, Stagecoach Inferno, and turn it into more than just a band. It's actually a creative project in that sense, in that we have a legitimate story, a story that I think is really fun. It's a very exciting story, and that's why I wanted to write it down. And that's kind of the pattern I want to keep going with, is that, we all sit down together and we have a few drinks and we talk through ideas for a story until we finally have it solidified. I will sit down and hammer it out and create another novella while we create another album for it. I want it to be more than just a CD you put in every now and then. It's actually, I like Westerns, at least to some degree, and I might read the novella that comes along with this album, because it actually has a big story arc that wraps from track one to track end, and that's very exciting. And there are a lot of bands that have done concept albums, but that's what I think is fun about it, is that we're trying to take a concept album and turn it into, you can read the concept from word one to the last word of the story, and know exactly what happens and get excited about it and look forward to the next one, because it will all be continuous. We're going to take the same people and we're going to write a new story for them.
Hell yeah.
So,
you want to trash talk Steven real quick?
Steven is just frankly, he's not pulling his weight. And I think maybe we should just kick him out.
He's the worst.
I've been meaning to talk to you about this, but no, it's not going to work.
He's great, but it's not going to work.
No, you know what? You know what I do want to talk about? I want to talk about how awesome these people are, how awesome you are. You and I have been playing together for a long time, and I love it. And we have found the ways that our creative intellect work together, the things that we can come up with together, and we are doing that. You and I are doing that with them too. And I know Hunter and Shadow are still, to us, as long as we've played together, the new guys, right? But they are fucking awesome. Like, I couldn't imagine Stagecoach without them at this point. Mm. And like, they not only contribute to every element of songwriting, but they fucking contribute to the story too. They are on the same page, in that it's more than a band, it's a concept project, that actually has different forms of output. So I'm looking forward to everything that we do with them, and I'm real happy about it, real excited.
Oh yeah, man. Any last words before I shut it off?
No, that's it. Those are my last words.
Love
Cheers.
you, brother.